What is up, you beautiful nerd and nerdettes? I'm Fraser, this is P.P.G. Let's get right into it. About a day or two ago, Play Overwatch released a video, going over the updates to Symmetra. And let me tell you, they look fantastic. Not only are her turrets, you're going to get 6 right out at the beginning, and then a full cooldown for the 6 again. You don't have that little personal shield you put on people. You project kind of like a Reinhardt shield that slowly moves forward that you can use to push towards a target, which looks really cool. And she's the very first character that has 2 ultimates. So what they were saying is that you could toggle between the teleporter and this shield pretty much generator that she drops that'll give all the other players within a certain area 75% armor, or shield actually, that regenerates over time. That is freaking amazing. It kind of makes Symmetra a lot less situational now, that, if you lose point A, you could still have her for point B, and instead of the teleporter, she uses the shield generator. I think this is a very welcome change to Overwatch. But this got me thinking. If she got a second ultimate, does that mean the other characters are going to be getting second ultimates too? So, the nerd in me, the complete Overwatch nerd in me, spent a little time going over what I think the second ultimates for all the other characters are. And lucky you get to hear them. So without further ado, I'm going to start with the tanks. I'm going to start with d.va right now. I feel her self-destruct is pretty badass to begin with, but I would love to see her have kind of like an autopilot for her second ultimate, where she would jump out of her suit, it would walk around locking onto targets and shooting them and doing damage to them, but you'd still get to control her human form, I really think that'd be really neat, for a little period of time, and then if the suit's still around, you could run and jump back into your suit. If not, you're in human mode until you build up your suit ultimate. That's just me. I think that one would be pretty awesome. For Reinhardt, I am going to go with a tried and true, kind of like Barbarian, Blizzard, standard kind of move. Hammer Cyclone. Grabs the hammer and just spins in a circle. You can kind of control where he goes, but he just takes out enemies, not knocking them back, but actually dealing a decent amount of damage. For Winston, I named his move the Tesla Overload. Pretty much, he overcharges his Tesla cannon, and it lets out a giant radial, pretty much not an EMP, but just a blast of electrical energy, damaging and stunning his targets. I think that would be just a lot better for a tank than his Hulk mode. I'm not a fan of his Hulk mode. In general, I feel Winston needs the most work out of all the characters, so maybe he might get a second ultimate next, and maybe it's the Tesla overload. For Zarya, I say she gets the Gravitron boost. Her gun charges her up, she drops it to the ground, and she shows you why she's Russia's strongest woman. It pretty much just increases her melee damage significantly, and she goes around wrecking havoc on people's faces. And for my favorite tank, Roadhog, I call his move Sucks, Don't It? And pretty much all it is you reverse his gun, and it turns it into a wood chipper that just sucks the enemies close to it, dealing damage as they get close to the gun. And if it pulls them in and through, it's an insta-kill. But you could still run away and blink out, but it'd be really cool to see it go that route. First he has the pushing in his whole hog, and then he sucks them in with this one. Who knows? On to the supports. Well, since Symmetra is already done, I'm going to start with Lucio. I love to see him have a move that I would call Base Wave. Similar to Drop the Beat or whatever it is it's called, where he slams his speaker gun to the ground, but instead of pumping up the health of your teammates, it sends a shockwave that stuns and pushes your enemies out, theoretically pushing them off an edge or off of a control point or payload. Really giving him more of kind kind of a control effect that I feel the game would need. Zenyatta, I would pretty much just give him a Discord aura, similar to the one his Transcendence that he has, but any enemy within the area of that aura, or maybe he shoots out a bunch of Discord orbs that hits all enemies within sight. It does what the orbs do. Any damage dealt to that target gets increased from the Discord orb. I think that would make him kind of like a priest in WoW, you know? You have your healing priest and then your shadow priest. I really think that'd be cool, and I'd love to see them do that with Zenyatta. Now, Anna's is going to be a little simpler. Hers would be called Justice for All. She would drop a gas emitter. Grow up. I know you're laughing. So pretty much when it goes off, it emits a cloud that, you know, covers a certain area. All teammates in that area are healed, and all enemies in that area take damage over time. A much larger scale of her grenade. I think that would be pretty sweet, considering there's not much area of effect damaging spells other than Mei's freeze move and I guess Anna's grenade. And last, but certainly not least, is Mercy. I'm not giving her a second ultimate. I don't think she needs one. Her ultimate is probably one of the best ultimates in the game, because a well-timed res can change this momentum of a game dramatically, and I couldn't think of anything else that kind of went with the synergy of her character. So Mercy's actually the only one that I'm not giving a second ultimate to. To the defense. Mei, I want to give a little bit more of a damage ultimate. I call it Shard Shower, where she creates a cloud area with her little backpack dude, and he flies above, causing it to rain ice shards, damaging people in an area of effect for a set period of time. I think that would be really cool for pushing people away from control points, payloads, stuff like that. You know, not from forcing them away from physically pushing them, but actually dealing damage, causing them not wanting to run in to contest. Bastion! His is going to be called the Omnic Beam. And yes, I am ripping off Iron Man here. Just his chest opens up, a blast comes out of his chest, which the player can aim, and after the blast has been completed, he is stunned for 3 seconds, just because it depletes his battery. Synergy. Now, I liked Widowmaker's ultimate, being able to see characters through the wall, but I felt that she always was kind of missing something. So the ultimate that I gave her was the Widow's Kiss. And what happens is she loads a poison bullet into her sniper rifle. The target that she hits then takes poison damage over time. And if that character is killed by you or another player, their body emits a poisonous gas from the bullet, grow up again, and any enemy that walks past that poison cloud gets the same effect as the original bullet for a set period of time. Like, it can't keep going and going and going, but for 10 seconds you could potentially take out 3 people with one bullet because the cloud transfers over and over and over again. Probably my favorite character in the game, Junkrat. I had a really hard time thinking of one for him as well, so I kind of went with more of the stunning kind of ultimate, because I don't think there's really a lot of those right now that I think are very useful. Let me just kind of fix that, what I just said there. And his ultimate that I'm going to give him would be called Hunter's Special, where he lays down one trap that when triggered by an enemy, it shoots out a bunch of little traps that can also trap and catch the other teammates or the other enemy teammates, causing them all to be stun locked for just damage raining down upon them. It may not be his Riptire, but I still think situationally that'll be a really good ultimate. For the Swedish blacksmithing champion that is Torbjorn, I gave him an ultimate called Armored Core. I know it's ripping off the Molten Core, but this one is more of like a support kind of, or bulking up the defense of the other, well, not the other team, his teammates. He would take his hammer, smash it on the ground, and all teammates within a vicinity would gain 250 armor, not health or shield. It works similar to his armor packs. And what happens is that armor will stay on the player until damage wears it down or they die. If they don't take damage the rest of the game, they keep that 250 armor. I feel that will be extremely beneficial because that's a move I find that Torbjorn doesn't get used for. People drop a turret, they go around shooting. Not a lot of Torbjorns drop the armor, and I think that is such a huge benefit to Torbjorn. So for that is why I gave him Armored Core. Now, this next defense character is actually the character I played the most in the game. I have over 9 hours played with Hanzo. So I feel I know a little bit about this character. I'm not saying I'm any good with him, but I know a little bit about him. So for the ultimate that I'm going to give him is Dragon's Fury. And pretty much what that is it takes a select amount of arrows, which I haven't determined yet, which would become incendiary arrows. So when you hit a target, it deals normal damage, and then after the fact, it deals fire damage to that player. Now, not only if it hits the player and they catch on fire, but if it hits another object like a wall, a car or something, that item would also catch on fire. And if an enemy teammate interacts with either the player or that item, the fire damage, a small amount, is transferred to them. Not a huge dragon flying out of your bow, but I still think if utilized, an ultimate like this can be very devastating. Brace for the attack. Soldier 76. I call his move Inspiration. And much to, I guess, his healing orb that he drops down, or his healing device, his ultimate that I want to give him would be an inspirational boost of damage to all the people within the radius of his ultimate, I guess, orb or device that gives the boost. So all he would do is he would run, drop the device on the ground, a radial circle that would pop up, and any teammate in that circle would get a damage buff for the duration of his ultimate. I figure for someone who's supposed to be the leader of Overwatch and a tactical mastermind, what better way and more synergy I find to give him a move that boosts his teammates. For McCree, I'm kind of taking a page out of my favorite anime, Berserk. I call this one Ace Up My Sleeve. And much like Gatsu in the anime, his robotic arm hand will hinge down like this. A Gatling, so it wouldn't be like a plasma cannon like his, but a Gatling gun would come out and he would just kind of, taking him from the 6-pistol shooter over here to just a wave of destruction. I think that would be really awesome to see. Plus, I'd love to hear the voice actor go, "I got an ace up my sleeve." Or any Toy Story, like Woody reference, actually, as well. Genji, on the other hand, would be more of a survival kind of ultimate. I would call his Dragon Image, and utilizing his cybernetic enhancements and the ability to control the Shibata family or whatever they're called, family dragons, he increases his speed dramatically, creating 3 mirror images that copy like the original player's moves identically. They don't deal damage, but it makes it harder for Genji to be hit because it's not a central position for the original Genji to be placed. They're dispersed randomly within a radius of Genji to make it really difficult for other players to take them out. Pharah's I'm going to call the Raptor Repel because her suit of armor is called the Raptor Armor. Pretty much she charges her arm cannon like the repel boost that she does, and she shoots it either at an object or a player, and whatever it hits, it sticks to them, and once it hits them, it causes kind of an energy that pushes enemy teammates away from the target or place. So I think that'd be really great. You see one player kind of running around being hectic, you shoot him with the Raptor Repel, and he pushes his teammates away from the point, or he pushes his teammates off the edge. It's kind of like an insult to injury kind of thing. For Reaper, I kind of tried to keep it simple. His move I called Time to Pay the Reaper. He goes to Wraith mode for 10 seconds, where he is able to shoot players at will and not take damage. In this mode though, he can't collect the souls and gain health, so I tried to make it as balanced as possible. And for our newest character, Sombra, I call her move Now You See Them. She picks 2 other teammates that get turned invisible with her for 8 seconds, and it works the same as her invisibility. Pretty much anybody that does damage or makes an action once they're invisible cancels the invisibility for the whole group. So it kind of makes it interesting to push towards a point or something like that. But if there's no communication or there's no just like plan ahead of time, it can get screwed up really easily. So for Tracer, I give her the move Rewind. She overcharges her quantum accelerator, creates a field around herself and all teammates in that field. She rewinds damage and ammunition for the last 6 seconds. So it's similar to her blink, but it affects the whole group. I think that would be fantastic. It's not healing, but if your Reinhardt's about to die and his shield's about to break, that if he's in that area for the last 6 seconds, it's gone. I really think that has the most synergy with who she is and what she can do, and I'm still confused to why they picked a sticky grenade for her ultimate. I am out of breath. So there is my list of what I feel the characters from Overwatch second ultimates should be. Let me know in the comments below if you like them, if you hated them, if you have your own ideas. I'd love to hear them. Tell me which one you think is your favorite. I'm just happy that you're here watching the video when you should be playing Overwatch. Really, why aren't you playing Overwatch? If you like this video, click the like button, leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. And if you work for Blizzard and you want to use some of my ideas, man, that would be awesome. But just make sure you call each move the Fraser. Just the Fraser. I would love to see that happen in competitive. Oh, Tracer drops the Fraser and wins the game, and man, that'd be sweet.